Hi, and welcome back to Normski TV and the What's Going On podcast. Hope you had a pleasant weekend. And for all those that are ready to come and do battle with us, looking at the weekend, it's been a bit of a what I call not so good weekend. We're going to be reviewing the FA Cup weekend. Some big names going out. Sorry about this, apologies. Some big names going out. And listen, I'm not happy at all with the way Arsenal played. We've also got the big North London derby weekend coming up. And so, listen, guys, Arsenal need to do something. Smack bang in the middle of that tomorrow, we play Liverpool in the Carabao Cup semi-final, first leg at Liverpool. Yes, 13 false positives. We will discuss that as well. Quite a lot to discuss tonight on these podcasts. If you're new, please like, subscribe and share. On the road to 200. Hopefully by the end of this week, we will hit that target. And as I said, just like to thank everybody that supported the show, the channel, and the community. We're here to, just bring a little smile to your faces. And obviously, got my good friend on, Big D, big Man United fan. Hopefully we'll have Chile on as well. As I said, listen, David and Kofi have not left the building. They're still with us. It's just that at the moment, their schedules are pretty much taken up at the moment, busy. But hopefully, listen, when they do come on, we'll have a great show, and hopefully we'll have quite a few people on. Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Arsenal. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be great. We look forward to that. But as I said, apologies for that. But listen, I hope you enjoyed last week's show. But this week is all about the FA Cup weekend, what we done in the Arsenal. I said and in the actual title, FC Bagel or Bagel FC. We need reinforcements. I'll tell you why. And also the big North London derby. Again, please hit the like button. Please like, subscribe, and share. And let's do this. I have got Big D waiting in the green room. Hopefully, Chile will be with us as well. His game is going to be on tonight as well. He's going to be playing at home to second leg to Chelsea. And listen, it's going to be a tough one, but you never know. They might pull it out the bag, but Chelsea have got 1 foot into the semi-finals, and hopefully Arsenal can go to Liverpool tomorrow and try and get something. Whether that will happen or not, we will see. But look, let's just first, hi, Kay, my sister, my loving sister. Thank you, Kay, for that beautiful soup, man. I'm enjoying that chicken soup. Come, listen, man, I can see Delway in the green room licking his lips. What about me? But thanks, Kay, for doing that. Listen, without no further ado, I'm going to bring in Mr. Big D. Yo.
Norman,
how you doing, brother?
I'm here, man. I'm here.
You're there, man.
This week, but yeah.
Good to see you. And how's the family?
Yeah, everyone's doing okay,
Everybody's good, yeah.
Yesterday, so
yeah. That's good. That's good. That's good to hear.
On her toes.
Right.
She's good,
yeah. Listen. We've got a lot to discuss. I know Chile. I'm going to bring him into the building now. Man, look like he's smoking a spliff right now, but welcome, Chile. I know that he's probably going to need it. Man, it's making me laugh already. Sorry about this, guys, because I still can't shift this cough. Oh, listen, let me correct myself. It's mutton, not chicken. Sorry about that. And Kay saying hi to you, D.
Hey, Kay.
Yeah, big up there. And Kay, you can also say hello to the Chile man. Yeah, he's a Tottenham man. Your husband is a Tottenham man, so you can say hello to him as well. But listen, welcome, Chile. How you doing? How's your week been? I know you had 2 teeth pulled. And we was talking offline, and you basically said you were in a lot of pain. I said it's probably like us watching Arsenal at the weekend against Nottingham Forest. What a disaster! But for you, you said it was quite soothing.
Yeah,
And you get your welcome from my sister Kay.
Hi.
Yeah. So, but other than the pool too, how you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good. Looking
Yeah.
forward to the victory on Sunday.
Listen, we'll come to that. There's a lot to discuss. I know you've got an important game on tonight. Against hold on a minute. Sorry, let's just go back. There's my missus. I love the soup too. That's my missus enjoying the mutton soup as well. But yeah, it's a massive game tonight against Chelsea. Second leg, you're 2-0 down. 2 own goals. Wow. But listen, we will discuss that. But there is a lot to discuss, as I sent you the schedule chat, and we'll try and get through this as quick as possible. Again, if you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe and share. And listen, mate, we're taking this thing forward as a community, and just want to thank the lads for coming on, taking time out. You know what I mean? You could have otherwise been, you know what I mean, Chile, you could have been, supporting Tottenham. No, you would me and Chile, we're always at it, mate. We're always at it. This man has got no sympathy when it comes to our. But listen, we go into it straight away. So listen, first of all, D, and I sort of kind of not spoke to you offline, but I'll send you a few things regarding your team, Man United. Marcus Rashford. Now, I watched him at the weekend. Was it Monday when you guys played? Monday, wasn't it?
Yeah, Monday night, yeah.
And I tell you what, Aston Villa, mate, if they had a clinical guy up front, mate, you could have lost that game.
Curtains.
It would have been curtains.
Yeah, awful.
Listen, I know you're not happy with it. And let me ask you this question. What's going on? It just seems like the whole world is on the back of Marcus Rashford. What is happening with him? What's going on with his, in his mindset? Because when I watched that guy play, everything that he did, it just did not come off. He had his head down. He just looked like they had the whole world on top of his shoulders. Not only that, at one point, I'm sure the fans were booing him. I'm sure I heard some booing going on there and that. So does he deserve it? I suppose the question I'm going to ask you, does he deserve it? Is what he's doing off the field, sort of impacting on his game on the field, and the whole change of manager and that? What are your thoughts on that, D?
Well, this is what I would say. He has ran through walls for Ollie. And when I mean walls, rumours have it he was taking pain-killing injections to play games, right? So Ollie overplayed him, and I think actually burnt him out. And so you have to question the people behind him, the agent, his manager, whatever. Someone needs to pull him aside and say to him that you cannot keep playing injured, because I think he might have wrecked his career for doing them 3 years with Ollie. I think at no point until he took the time out for the operations was he ever fully fit. So the form dipped, and then it's like he had a Euro hangover as well. And now I think he's sulking because Ollie's gone, because he practically picked himself. Because the whole passion merchant, run through the wall for the manager. But Ollie was concerned about his job. He wasn't concerned about Marcus Rashford, clearly. And now you're seeing the effects of playing injured and loss of confidence and form as well. And this guy's no nonsense. So him training twice a day, which is rumored what's going on, that will hurt Rashford rather than help him. And and maybe his pride will not. There was a point in that Villa game where we should have just said, "Listen, get me out of here," and he didn't until he got tugged. You know what I mean? He got tugged 30 minutes before he got tugged. And I was watching him, and you know what happened, right? He gave the ball away, and he just started jogging. Not even jogging.
I saw that. I saw that, mate.
And when the fans turned on him, he went into a half sprint. But that's what for the fans to. They were clearly abusing him. And you know what I mean? And which is like that's a no-no. You don't go to 4 matches to do that. But at the same breath, if you're not even in Manchester, you travel up, you spend all this money, and then you watch a player do that when the team in general is not playing well, then the fans are going to turn on you. So I think it's a combination of a few things. I don't think he's fully fit.
Yeah.
Or the pace of this new system is really he's struggling.
It seems to be not only him. It seems to be wrecking the team. I mean, there's a lot of factions that's going on in the side. You know, I'm hearing that the dressing room is split half and half. You've got the Portuguese people that speak Portuguese are not talking, and there's a lot happening. Just so much happening off the field, and I thought that Rangnick would be the one to come in, pull everything together. But as you said, maybe the tactics, the fact that they have to work a lot harder under Rangnick as opposed to Ollie, because Ollie probably said, Ollie didn't even used to take the training. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He came out and admitted that.
Fit, Norman. The team isn't fit, and you can see that.
Absolutely.
I think we've managed, since he's been there, 30 minutes, if that, of the Gurgen press.
Yeah, and that was probably against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
We haven't seen nothing.
And I think he's been forced to go away from it because he realizes that these mans can't play this. They're not fit.
Yeah.
And we have greedy win backs, as in Rashford and Greenwood. Cavani, I'm surprised Cavani didn't put hands on both of them in the changing rooms afterwards.
I definitely know you would have put hands on them.
His movement was really good against Villa, and they were just shooting every time rather than trying to just
listen. I counted 4 times when Greenwood picked up that ball. The guy is a talent. Kick with both feet, and literally every time he took a shot on goal, it was straight at the keeper.
Yeah,
literally. Or when he did have the chance to pass to, there was one point when you broke and he had the chance to lay it off to Rashford.
Yeah,
and he decided to. You know what I mean? I think one of the players, it might be Konza, got his foot in and it deflected, and Martinez was able to get down and save it. I mean, Chile, you looking in from outside again and watching. I don't want to say demise of Man United, but I think they're in a bit of a dip. I know you got that big smile in your face. I think you'd love it to see their demise. What are your thoughts looking in and seeing what's going on with Marcus Rashford and just the whole thing? This 4-2-2 system that they're playing. What were your thoughts?
I think that I like United. I've never been a United hater. I like them since Fergie. So, but like D said, you can just tell they're not fit enough, man. It's just like, and they're not playing like a team anyway. It's like they're playing as individuals or in like pairs rather than a team. So, yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, it's so evident, and when you look out, I watched Aston Villa and the way they played through you. Literally, I saw little flicks and 1-2s and triangles. It's like when the Man United players picked up the ball, it's just like they were void of ideas. Do you know what I mean? And you've got the McTominay, Fred. What was it? They call it McTominay, Fred. Was it McFred? Whatever. Literally. One thing I did notice, right, D, was that how come they just can't string a pass together?
Well, this is it, Norms, right? Fred and McTominay are box-to-box midfielders being made to play in a double pivot.
Right.
Square pegs in round holes, mate.
Absolutely.
So you only need one of them on the pitch at a time. You need a holding, you need a CDM, and let one of them play the box-to-box midfield role. And not only that, we were outrun. You can't go 4-2-2-2 against Villa when they pack the midfield.
Yeah.
We got absolutely bossed in midfield. And I just thought, bro, surely you are seeing this from the touchlines that you need to pull somebody forward, a forward player, and put whether it be a Matic or whoever. I can't remember who was on the bench, but you have to shore it up in midfield to try and compete. And then it was just like for like subs and stuff. And I was like, wow. Even go 3 at the back if you have to, just to get a midfielder on.
Jay saying should have given Moyes more of a chance. I don't know.
Too early for Moyes. I think if Moyes had maybe come in a couple of years later, then maybe. But the way the whole Fergie, just give me a job kind of attitude, and he was like a deer in headlights. Plus, the senior players didn't want him there.
And I saw Fletcher sitting along. What is going on with Fletcher sitting alongside my man? Because that's a bit confusing right now. I'm really confused with that.
This is this is upstairs, right? So this is their way of kind of keeping the Ollie mix in the mix, because he's supposed to be he's not sporting director. What is your sporting director? And he sits between Ragnick and the first team coach and telling them to what they should be doing. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw it.
I'm sitting there going, what in the world is Fletcher doing? How about you go and get your kids back from Man City Academy? How about you go do that?
Job for the boys. Job for the boys. Job for the boys.
And for him and Phelan to be still there.
Yeah.
After what's gone on with Ollie. And at least the other two fell on their swords. As in McKenna and Carrick decided, you know what, we were part of the Ollie thing. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
But these two are hanging on for dear life. Now, come the summer, if Fletcher gets that job, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm about to leave the country again, Norms. Because that is not tenable for me. That really isn't. I mean, rumors is that we're getting Poch.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, there's talk. I'm hearing, there's talks going on in the background with Poch coming there. I mean, would you want him at the club? Do you think he's something that, you know, with all that's going on? I mean, because all again, you know, the Ragnick, the G press, somebody was talking on, I think it was on TalkSport, can't remember the guy, and he was saying that, you know, the guy is coming with no pedigree. You know, he might have won a cup with a second division side and got, I can't remember which club it was. He got to the semi-finals of Champions League. Other than that, you know, I just don't know if the players respect him enough. And as I said, being under that Ollie umbrella.
The thing is, like I said last week, the players were well aware that he is the interim and he's going upstairs. And I think maybe that is a bit of a problem as well, to say, well, listen, mate, you're gone in the summer, whether it be gone or gone upstairs. I'm still going to be here. Why would I listen to you? I'm just going to do what I want to do until the new coach comes in. And then when a new coach comes in, I'm going to try and impress him for my contract extension or whatever else is going on with them. So I actually think that half of them are probably down tools on me already, because he's trying to get them fit and they don't like it.
And there's also talk about Ronaldo, his agent has come over and he's obviously not happy with the situation at the moment. There's a chance whether that will happen. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because I know you said if you don't get Champions League, he ain't playing in no Europa. But he's gonna bust the PSG. Yeah, that's his next thing. Play alongside the likes of Neymar and Messi. You know,
right? I mean, and they'll have problems there when he goes there as well because of the egos.
Yeah, so, I wouldn't make it. Yeah, I mean, managing
big names, though.
Yes. Good evening, Mick Khan. How you doing, Michael Khan? Good evening. Saying good evening to the lads. Say hi to the bro. But listen. Oh boy. It's just a lot of work that needs to be done. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. I mean, you know, Rashford, as I said, he's in talks about a new contract. He's on £200,000 a week. 24 years old. With what's happening in that, you know what I mean? This, I tell you, D, coming into the summer, mate, there's so much work that needs to be done. Right. And I just don't know. I don't know whether there is hope or light, as they say, at the end of the tunnel.
Norman, you imagine, right?
Then there's hope. Trust me.
Say that again. Say that again, Chili.
If they get Poch, there's hope. He'll whip them into shape, man. He'll get them fit and he'll get them playing good attacking, pressing football. And he'll play players where they should be played.
No, oh, sorry. Okay. Apologies. Mike, I'm going to call you Micah. It says United need a massive rebuild. And would you agree with that? Or would you say, D, that they don't? I mean, people, you know, the Man United fans, half and half. When it comes to, some are saying it doesn't need a rebuild. Some are saying, yes, you do need a massive rebuild. Do you agree with the statement from Micah?
Yes, to a point. Because I've always said this about teams. When a player is telling you he wants to go, or a player clearly legs are gone, then you got to ship out. Now, I actually envision, it may not happen because we're so slow with, well, I envision maybe 7 players need to go. So that's kind of a rebuild for me.
Yeah.
And then 2 will go naturally, as in maybe Mata and Cavani will go naturally because of age and won't get their contracts renewed. Pogba needs to go. You know what? You've had a contract on the table since July. You're clearly not feeling it. So just leave. Martial, at least Martial put his hands up and said, I want to go.
Yeah.
Respect him for that.
Van der Beek?
Yeah. Donny needs to go. I'd love him to stay, but they clearly don't like him because Randnick ain't even playing him. Yeah, he says he trains well. So if he trains well and
Same.
McFred isn't working and we're getting overrun by Villa in midfield, why wouldn't you have put him on?
Obviously you got Villa on Monday.
Again.
After that performance, D, looking at that performance, you're going to have McTominay missing. You're going to have Luke Shaw missing in that game. Yeah. Coutinho signed for Aston Villa. So the fans, they're going to present him before the fans. Everybody's going to be up for it. You got they're possibly in talks with the guy from Everton. Is it? I can't pronounce his name. Is it?
Dean. Digene.
Yeah. Somebody put it in the chat how you pronounce that. Yeah, put it in phonetics or whatever. But he looks like he's going there. He's I think he's a left back.
Yeah, left back. Yeah. If they don't beat us, Steven Gerrard will have nightmares for weeks, mate, because he knows we're there for the taking. He will.
Absolutely.
And so this is his time. If every time he wants to get one over on United as a hardcore Liverpool man, then this is the time, because I think he saw the gaps and he knew that if he had a clinical striker, he would have.
They were unlucky. 2 VAR situations. You know, obviously the second one was definitely offside. But that takes us nicely into the next topic, and that is, why is the VAR only used at Premier League grounds and not at other grounds? I don't know if anybody's Dina. Okay, thank you, Mr. Brown. Dina, that's how we pronounce it. Mr. Leon Brown, welcome to the chat, man. How you doing, bro? Hope things is good. Hope your team is doing well. But I've just lost my trail of thought now. What was I talking about? VAR.
VAR, VAR.
Now, the goal, the equalizer. Now, I don't know what your thoughts on that was. Yeah, when Ings put it into the back of the net, right? It took 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes or so, for VAR to come in, because at first we thought it was a goal. Didn't see anything wrong with it. One, they were saying it was a handball. It wasn't a handball. So first of all, they looked at the handball. Then they looked at the offside. Then eventually they told my man to go over to the screen.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing that my man got blocked off. Cavani. I don't know if anybody saw it, but I don't know what your thoughts are quickly on that.
Well, the thing is, there's always that in the game. The blocking is always there. Now, if you're not giving the offside, you just give the goal, man. Because it took so long. It's like they were fishing for something not to give the goal, rather than, you know what I mean? It was embarrassing, man. It was embarrassing.
And listen, it is embarrassing. And I mean, Chidi, you can come in on this as well. I'm not trying to make an excuse why we lost against Nottingham Forest. We lost against them fair and square. We didn't turn up. But there was an incident in that game where I think it was Ben White in the penalty area. I don't know if you saw it. Literally grabbed his shirt and pulled him down. But because Nottingham Forest is not a Premier League side, and this is where the inconsistency comes from me, because at the end of the day, I'm not saying that would have, it may have changed the result, but I'm not saying that is ultimately the reason why we lost that game. But he was clearly pulled down. It was more obvious than what Granit Xhaka did against Bernard Silva in the Man City game. And I don't know if anybody saw it, but literally, he got pulled down, and the pundits were saying, if VAR was involved, that's a straight penalty, and I don't know what the reason why is. It because the local grounds, or is it because the VAR is funded by the Premier? I don't know. I mean, can somebody shed any light? If anybody knows in the chat, please put it in the chat. Why is it that only all Prem games get VAR, but if you're playing a like a championship side, League One side, League Two, or out that VAR's not involved?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to assume that the Premier League teams in the Premier League have been given a camera system to support VAR. Now, if you're in the FA Cup where you're playing lower league teams, then you just switch off VAR for everybody.
Thank you.
That way, everything goes down to the refs and the linesmen.
Thank you.
And the fourth official, maybe.
So listen to this now. So in that game that was played on Monday,
yeah,
if VAR was not involved, that's a goal.
Yeah.
100%. And this is where I get fed up with the inconsistency. Yeah, because it doesn't work. I don't know, Chili, I don't know what your views on that, right? But before you come in, Micah said Endo, AWB, VDB, Mata, Lingard, Marshall, Cavani, they all want to go, and now just add the players we regard as not good enough. That's a rebuild needed instantly. Obviously, you're going to agree with that, D. But whilst, and again, he says the lower league sides apparently don't have the facilities to make it work properly. That was the reason for the past couple of seasons.
Yeah.
Well, then, if that's the case, Michael, thank you for that. If that's the case, then don't, as you say, D, you don't have it for anything.
The FA Cup, switch it off.
I mean, Chili, what are your thoughts on that, mate? Before we move on.
Yeah, I think that I've used it all the time or none of the time, but it's the governing bodies for each different thing, isn't it? And so say that they don't want it, or it's not fair to make a small club pay out for it if they can't afford it. You know, so unless someone's going to fund it, then.
But I can look, as I said, I can look at that game now, that Nottingham Forest game, and say, well, where's the consistency? Yeah, because as I said, in that game where Man United won that game, it could have been the other way around if they didn't have VAR.
Yeah.
Or if VAR was involved in the Nottingham Forest game, then that's a definite penalty. They would have to look at it. You know, but so this is where it gets frustrating for me.
Do you like VAR in general, or do you not like it?
Listen, I think B sort of alluded to this last week. He's got nothing against VAR. It's the people, I suppose, that are operating it. Yeah? It's the people that are operating it that's confusing, because you have a situation where if it's a clear and obvious, mistake, then VAR will come in. But you have to sometimes leave it down to the referee, you know? So, you know, it's like, all of a sudden, it's like they want to aid the referee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you score a goal now, you don't even know when if to celebrate or not. You've got to wait until, let's see what the man up in Stockley Park, what they think of it. It's just like they're just coming to interfere when they don't need to. Yeah, the Man City game, when he told Bernard Silva to just get up. And then all of a sudden they see a little tug on the shirt. Oh, we better get involved there. That's a joke thing, man.
Yeah. And then you have to look at whether the people that work in VAR are fans of football or fans of teams. Yeah. If they're just fans of football where they don't support anybody, then fine. But if they're a Chelsea fan or a United fan and they're on duty in that game and they say, well, no, we need to win this game.
Yeah.
In his earpiece, tell him he's got to go look at the screen. It's not very funny, but he needs to know. Because no one really knows who works up there. In that sense, it's not like it's not like they come on the big screen. Not only that, us in Liverpool don't have big screens either. So this is why the fans up as well. So the fans don't know what's going on. Because I mean, surely we can afford a big screen, at least one, and you suspend it from the ceiling or one each side. I don't get it that we don't have big screens. It's ridiculous. Liverpool don't have screens at the club.
Thank you so much, LP, Enrique. Great show, guys. Hopefully, I'll be back on soon. Enrique. Enrique, who's that? Great show, guys. Hopefully, I'll be back on soon. Now, I don't know if he's been on the show, but that's interesting. Micah says VAR is left up to interpretation way too many times than it should be. The lines are blurred too much.
Yeah, indeed.
It's my man, Ches, the Man United man. Listen, man. Bro, listen, you owe me a massive favor, Mr. LP Enrique. Well, you're turning French on me now. Why? But listen, thanks, Ches, for joining the show, man. Yeah, put in what you need to put in the chat. I mean, but yeah, this VAR thing, it needs to be sorted out. I'm not, as I said, I'm in favor of it, but it's the people that's operating it. Yeah. You know what? You brought up Liverpool, and that Liverpool haven't got a screen and all of that business and whatnot.
So, United, no.
Okay, man. I want to focus on Liverpool now. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to focus on Liverpool, man. Yeah. I mean, listen, guys. I mean, I'm not trying to say anything here, yeah. But bro, 13 false positives, man. Somebody talk to me right now, please. Talk to me. Somebody talk to me. If Latoya's in the chat, if my missus is in the chat, because my missus has been defending this 13 false positives. What is your take on it? Chili, what is your take on this 13 false positive? We was meant to play these guys, right, a couple of weeks ago. They've turned up and said blah, blah. Now, they ended up playing, okay, bring it on. She says, bring it on. Mr. Johnson. She said to bring it on. Okay, you bring it on. You better put something in the chat. Yeah, bring a good case. Chili, what you saying, bro?
Yeah, I don't know. When did they find out that they're false positives? That's the thing.
So, right. I mean, I haven't done deep research. So, if I was in a court of law, but that could go against me. I don't know. I know you're a man that like to do some deep searching there. So they took the lateral flow test, and they came back positive, right? And I think what the procedure is then is for them to take. Somebody can confirm this in the chat. They then take a PCR result. Yeah. So the PCR result, like, I think they could do it like within 12 hours, because I know when you're flying out and stuff like that, you can get a PCR thing within 12 hours. And now these football teams can afford to get PCR results and all that quickly. Now, out of the 13 or 14, yeah, only one come back with a proper positive, and that was Trent Alexander. The other 13 were false positives. Yeah, all right. Klopp came out and said what not. They had to close down the training ground game, so straight away, game had to be called off. Well, Saturday they managed to get a team out. I saw Virgil van Dijk. I know he's just come through it. I saw Fabinho. I saw their goalkeeper was there because I think they didn't have no goalkeepers. But I mean, what they're basically saying is that because it was a false positive, they had to shut everything down straight away. What are your thoughts, guys?
I think the Arsenal fans are just bitter and ignorant. That's what I think. Did you see the team that they put out?
You know what? If you don't behave yourself, I will remove you from the court. Order.
I've got some other Arsenal fans, and they sound just like you. But did you see the team that they put out against? Is it Shrewsbury? Who did they play?
Yeah, they played Shrewsbury. Yeah, they played Shrewsbury.
So you think that was a Premiership team? They should have played Arsenal, a full strength Arsenal.
Who said it was going to have a full strength? We had some cases as well. We had some cases as well. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, right? Was it last season when Leighton Orient against you guys? Yeah. So don't come and talk to me, man. Don't come and talk to me, Chili.
We got a buy for that, but that's because they couldn't fill the team. Do you know what I mean? And so, but you lot want to play some youth team, Liverpool.
Right, exactly. Academy players played against Shrewsbury. Now, last season, I think we spoke about it last week. It was when Liverpool had to go off to the World Cup.
Yeah,
or they had to play whatever. Right, Klopp wasn't going to be there. Yeah, Aston Villa fielded for that actual fixture to go ahead, that FA Cup. Aston Villa fielded a youth team. No one knew who they were. Nobody had any problems then. Liverpool didn't have no problems.
I don't know about that.
You sound very quiet, Chili.
I don't know.
I actually remember that, Norman.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
can you fill in Mr. Chili and just
I think Klopp came out and he said there's no way that they could keep up with that congestion pilot, because that's what they were having, and they were already committed to go to play in the World Club Cup. So a lot of the 23s went and played that FA Cup game, because he took mainly the first team squad over to compete in that. I don't know how long they were away for, maybe a week or so, I don't know. But a lot of the 23 stepped up and played in the competition. So he should have just done that. But then,
thank you.
I don't know.
It just calls fixture pile up. You can't blame Liverpool for the results from the PCR.
Yeah.
Look, I know. Look, I mean, a lot of clubs was asking for an investigation. That ain't gonna happen. For a start, it's Liverpool, but the thing is, I think it's probably more transparency. Maybe revealing who the players are. Or the EFL revealing. Who's out and stuff like that. I mean, Arsenal have not once complained even at the start of the season. And you know that, Chilly, so don't laugh, bro. You know we've not complained. We just got on with it. We got our battering in the first 3 games at the start of the season, and we just quietly, we did ask, but the FA said, nope, you got to fulfill your fixtures. We had about 4 or 5 players out with COVID.
Yeah,
and then injuries as well.
Liverpool,
so we fielded a young side as well.
Liverpool had 13 now. All right, they came
back. But the question is, who are the 13?
But you don't know that either, so you can't be there saying...
But what I'm trying to say is we knew who the 5 or 6 were at the start of the season that had COVID, right? They said 13, right? They said staff and players. So can somebody tell me who these 13 positives were or false positives were?
Yeah,
I don't know, but all I know is that team that plays Shrewsbury wasn't a Premiership side. So they're not even a Championship side. They wouldn't win in the Championship. So
what, the Liverpool side?
Yeah, that played the other day.
Okay. So all right. So let me see who was in that side. Who was in that side? Right? You're saying that. You're saying that it was a what's the name? I might have to disagree with you there. Okay, let me see.
All
right. Here we go. Okay. Right. Okay. You got, right. All right. Okay. Listen, Jones is part of the first team.
Oh, come on.
What? I'm just listen. You have Keller. Yeah. Is he second? Is he second to their goalkeeper, to their main goalkeeper?
So he wasn't the main goalkeeper then?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. He's part of the first team. Robinson.
Okay.
Van Dijk. If you look at the team, Norm, if you look at the team, really and truly, he's got 2 regulars and 3 regulars and maybe 2 subs that will come off the bench.
Right.
He literally is playing the picnic there because most of the names I don't know.
The man said the picnic them.
So it's like.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Micah says Keller is the second choice. So he's the second choice.
Your goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, as in regulars, Van Dijk and Robinson. Does Fabinho start regular? He scored twice. I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, for me, yeah, you had Robert Firmino on the bench. You had Minamino. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is
about the other 7 players.
Yeah, they fair enough, but listen, they could. I feel that they could have fielded that side.
Fabinho, Matic on the bench, and Fabinho, their first teamers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but like I say, there is a lot of kids there. So
there is. But I mean, there is. I mean, we've got players away. We've got players away at AFCON, and we did have some positives as well. But I felt that the game could have gone forward. But look, it is what it is. We play them tomorrow, so it could be interesting what side we put out. And I think we will actually. That takes us nicely onto the next topic, and that's Bagel FC. Yeah, the Bagel FC.
Bagel FC.
Yeah, it's a new team, man. Like, yeah, support them. You should support them, man. Chilly, you should support them. What's this? Micah said Norski wanted to play the weekend team. Man United had 9 false positives as well before, so it's been a problem with the people doing the testing. Fair enough. That's a fair point. D, would you agree with that?
Yeah. That is a fair point. Yeah, I mean, you know how you were saying that, or you, Chilly, was saying that no one knows who the players were. So maybe the league step in and say you have to name and shame your players, for a better use of a word. Okay, who's tested positive in the squad?
Yeah, because there was certain. I mean, listen, we got as I said, we got the Leicester Everton game going, but during that period, even Thomas Tuchel was having a moan and saying that certain teams were giving a bly when they asked for for the fixture to be called off. They were saying nope. It ain't happening. You have to, because I think you have to field 13 plus 1. Yeah. So as long as you've got that and a keeper, but it transpires that Liverpool didn't have no keepers, right. So maybe they couldn't provide that. But and then saying the problem is the the 13 false positives.
Yeah.
Now the training ground is open. They're back playing Shrewsbury with a couple of their first teamers, slap them 4-1. We move on. I'll leave that to the audience. I'll leave that to everybody to decide what you think. Yeah. I'm not saying that Liverpool cheated, but at the end of the day, yeah, we need more transparency. Micah says 13 is still mad. Absolutely. Absolutely. But let's move on to Bagel FC. Oh, what did Jay say? Liverpool have always disclosed those with COVID. Also, it was the third coach, Peter, that did the interview. Okay. Well, my missus is going to back them anyway, so.
Did Klopp test positive as well?
Yeah. He tested positive, and then his number 2 tested positive.
Right.
But then again, we don't know, because we don't know if it was a real positive or a false thing, you know? And this is where things are a little bit up in the air, but it is what it is. As I say, we move, we play them tomorrow. I just pray God that we don't get slapped. That's all I'm saying, you know what I mean? But coming on to that, Bagel FC. Bagel FC. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. You lost me on that one, mate.
Right. So everybody knows what a bagel is. Does everybody know what a bagel looks like?
Yeah.
Right. Hold on.
Kind of
Don't be a hater. Oh, what's Latoya saying? Welcome, Latoya, to the chat. Arsenal fans have no shame, but I can understand your desperation to get the points.
Well said, Latoya.
Coming from another Liverpool supporter, I guess. Bagel FC. So, do you want to just give a brief description of what Bagel FC is, Chili?
I don't know what Bagel FC is.
No, bagel. What is a bagel?
It's like a bread dough round thing with a hole in the middle.
Okay, with a hole in the middle. Right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Anybody else? Bagel FC is Micah. Basil has said Bagel FC is his first on Arsenal. No midfield. There you have it. Let's give Micah a A+ for that. Now, listen, we got Micah in the chat. I'm guessing that Micah might be a Man United fan. What do you think, guys?
I'm thinking that as well. Yeah.
I'm thinking that he might be a Man United fan. Possibly Liverpool, but I think he might be a Man United fan. I'm sure he's going to reveal himself. Right. You're right. Exactly the point. Arsenal, no middle. Now, let me say this, yeah? Let me say this. He's 100% right. He is a Man United fan. So yeah, you gotta support online, bro.
Good for you, Micah. Good for you, my friend.
But let me say this, yeah. Against Nottingham Forest, absolutely shambles. The way we played in that game. Look, okay, just to read this one. Look, we played Fred so we could join the club.
Fred.
Oh, God, he's making me laugh today. He's making me laugh today. Listen, let me say this, yeah. Arsenal right now have got no middle. You hear? You got Granit Xhaka, who's possibly tested positive, but we're waiting to hear from the Liverpool medical team on that. You don't get the joke, did you? I said, Granit Xhaka has tested positive, but we're just waiting to hear from the Liverpool medical team to see if it's a false positive.
Drop it, man. Let it go, man.
I'm trying to let it go. I'm trying my best, bro. I'm trying my best. Now, listen, right? We've got Granit Xhaka missing. We started Lokonga and Charlie Patino, who's an up-and-coming midfielder who's come up from the under-23s. He looked totally lost in that game. Patino, I'm talking about. I don't want to portion any blame to him, but Lokonga, who's a Belgian international, 22 years old, when he first came to the club, he was kind of like the backup to Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey. Obviously, we've got Thomas Partey away at the AFCON. We've got El Nene away at the AFCON. And I'm very worried with our midfield right now. We're linked with a couple of midfielders. Bruno Guimaraes, I'm hearing that there's a possibility that he could go to Juventus. But there is another player, I think his name is Arthur, who plays for Juventus, Brazilian, 25 years old. 60 million he's worth, but we're trying to see if we can get him on a loan. James Garner, yeah, he did boss it against us. He absolutely took us apart. He took us apart, James Garner. And I think also there was that guy, the ex-Sunderland player, who was playing at left back. He looked like Saka didn't get any joy. And Spence, who was playing on the right as a right back for Nottingham Forest, did not. I think Martinelli was literally in his pocket. There was no passion. I didn't see any passion from the team. They just look void of ideas. They just look like the old Arsenal, playing slow at the back. You've got what's his name? Rob Holding with his new hairdo. Jack Colback. Thank you again, Micah, for that. Jack Colback, who used to play for Sunderland, and I think he used to play for Newcastle. That he was playing as a left back. He's a midfielder, and he pretty much had Saka. Not saying he had him in his pocket. Do you know what I mean? Because there was a couple of chances that Saka could have at least lofted the ball across the keeper over his head, but just didn't take the chance. But we just didn't lack passion in that game. Absolutely lacked passion. No middle. I'm very worried going into the game tomorrow. I don't know whether Granit Xhaka is going to be fit. It might mean we're going to have to juggle things around. And then obviously we got the North London derby, which we will talk about not too long from now. We need to reinforce, especially Arsenal, in terms of that midfield. We need to reinforce. We're also linked with Vlahovic from Fiorentina. Massive money deal there. I'm hoping. I mean, personally speaking, because we've got the Aubameyang situation where he's been literally. Sorry, I'm trying to have a conversation, and I can hear my sister-in-law talking in the background. So I'm hoping that she would. Just keep quiet as I'm speaking. Thank you very much. Okay, as I was saying, after being rudely interrupted. So you've got this guy Vlahovic, who we're linked with, but as I said, we've got Aubameyang, who's been sort of being abolished from the team at the moment, stripped of the captaincy. You've got Eddie Nketiah, where's my phone? Phone contract, Eddie Nketiah, missing sitters, Lacazette, 6 months left on his contract. Eddie Nketiah doesn't want to sign for the club. We're also looking at a striker. It's gonna take a big deal to get Vlahovic over the line. I don't know if we're going to be able to do it. We're linked with what's his name from PSG, who's on loan. He's not on loan. He's actually been bought, and that's Ronaldo. Apparently, he's an Arsenal supporter. We're trying to see if we can get him on loan. And I heard, I might be hearing wrong, that Tottenham were looking at him. I might be wrong though, Chile. I might be wrong. Yeah, but Ronaldo, I mean, he would be a good fit for a loan deal because he knows the Premier League. The man has got an injury on him, and I think he's better than what we've got at the moment. And I'm talking about Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey. Yeah, Partey just hasn't really hit the ground running. His games been in spits and spouts. Played well against Man City, even though we lost the game. But we need to, for me personally speaking, I don't know if you've looked at our midfielder thinking, boy, it needs reinforcement. D, what are you saying on that?
Yeah, I think I think Partey's looked better in recent games. I think it's taken a bit of a while to adapt, which is understandable because just the pace of the league. And I think most players, that very rarely a player comes in and hits the ground running in the Premier League. But I think, like us, we do need, because this is where the game is lost on one a lot of times in midfield. If you don't control the game, you don't have the ball, and you control the game, and like us, you give away the ball a lot. Your ball retention is poor.
Yeah.
And so you're constantly on the back foot. And you saw that against Forest. I mean, I was actually shocked. I couldn't even believe the way Forest were bossing that. It was mad to watch. It was like,
yeah, Lukonga. I mean, literally, it looked like he was directing traffic. I mean, he just looked like he was hiding. When you watch a game and you hear sometimes you're watching a game and you're not really watching it in its entirety because you're looking at certain players. But I watched Lukonga throughout that game, and I got it when the pundits say that the guy was hiding. He was literally hiding. I mean, man was like you get Ben White or Holding picking up in the back, and you've got my man pointing, telling him to kick it over there. pointing over there. Literally was just doing all this. I was thinking, man, go on.
In traffic in midfield.
Go and do some traffic. Yeah. Go and give some tickets on some cars or whatever, because you weren't doing anything in that game. And then the mistake came from him. You know, he tried to claim for a handball, and then I think he came off, can't remember what player it is, and then you know, I knew we was going to lose that game 1-0. I said it to my son. I said, listen, this game's not going the way I like it. And I said, there's only looks like there's going to be one winner. And you could see that Nottingham Forest were in the ascendancy. And soon as the mistake was made and they went down that right-hand side, ball crosses over, and there's my man to put it in the back of the net. We lose that game 1-0. And you know what I mean? It's just like, we've got to sort out our midfield. Me, personally speaking, we should have done that, in the summer, mucking about. You had Roma, you know, going after Granit Xhaka, you know, and in the end, he ends up staying. And we need to get somebody in, like a Bruno Guimaraes, someone that, you know, I mean, I said we're linked with this Juventus guy, so we'll see what happens. Micah said White and Holding had over 100 touches each. White was playing in midfield practically for most of it because the midfield hid. It was right, literally. But it was the build-up play, because they would pick up the ball, and it was so obvious. It was like the old Arsenal playing that at the start of the season. Literally, if it wasn't Ben White, it was Holding, and they would come out. There was no options. You know what I mean? And Micah alluded to that White was playing like he was in the midfield, and I think we may have to probably move White into the midfield when we play against Liverpool, because if Granit Xhaka is not back, I don't think Charlie Patino is going to be able to go on, you know, go to Liverpool and it'll be like a fish out of water, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm very worried going into that game. What side we put out there, I don't know. Hopefully it's a competitive side, and that when we do go there, we will get something and take it back to the Emirates in the second leg the following Thursday. So we'll have to see what happens there. But in terms of your midfield as well, Chile, Ndombele, you know, what's happening with him? You know, you've got Dele Alli, you've got your manager, you know, heard a couple of his post-match or pre-match interviews, and he's almost talking as if to say, like, he wants the ball to back in, he's not getting the back in. I know you're linked with Troy, but Ndombele got booed at the weekend. You know, you guys for 70 minutes looked like you was going out, but you had to bring on your big guns to rescue the show. You know what I mean? Say that again, mate.
I bet you wish you'd done that.
What, bring our big boys on?
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. We didn't have any big boys to bring on.
And then you would be sitting there as a loser, would you? You'd be a winner.
Let me tell you this, yeah? You're playing not too long from now at 7:45, yeah? I hope you get your bottom slap up tonight, yeah? Right? I hope you get slapped.
Norman, man. I expect more from you.
But anyway, we digress. Come back to Ndombele. What's going on with Ndombele? Because I'm there, and you spent, what, 55, 60 million on this guy, and he just hasn't settled. I think he came from either Lille or Leon. I can't remember. And somebody put it in the chat and let me know.
He came from Leon. Yeah, he just doesn't. I don't know, because he's got this reputation that he's lazy and that. But if you watch him, he does actually work quite hard. But a lot of it is just running up and down in the middle of the field, and then he's got a tendency to give the ball away quite a lot. And so, if what he's trying comes off, then he looks brilliant. But
on average, he probably plays 60, 70 minutes a game. Yeah. He doesn't last, does he? He's just like he hasn't got the stamina.
The only manager that showed proper faith in him was Mourinho, and apparently Mourinho's interested in taking him to Roma on loan.
Yeah, well, listen, Mourinho wants everybody. He's taken our Ainsley Maitland-Niles. There's talk about him going back in for Granit Xhaka in the summer. Please make it happen. Please make it happen. But yeah, I mean, is there any concerns, actually, with regards to, you know, the ball backing Conte? Because when I hear him talk, and Conte's known, he's a man that doesn't mess about. He's going to walk if he doesn't get the backing. What are your thoughts on that? Because he's kind of been making a few suggestions to say that the ball knows what I want. It's up to them to back me. Many words.
I think the press and the haters are pushing this he's going to walk thing because of his previous. But, they went in for him and he said, no, I'm not coming because you ain't matching my ambition. They messed about with Nuno, went and got him, agreed to give him what he needs to make us a top 4 team. So they've got to back him now. 2 or 3 players now. And then in the summer, another 3 or 4, and that'll be good.
Quickly, who are the players you would like to see come in? Or what are the positions that need to be...
who would I like to see come in? Jesus.
Well, okay. Realistically,
Vlahovic, I know you're going for him as well. So will Liverpool. But if we could get him... I'd like Skriniar, the defender, Skriniar. He's a good defender. We need a creative midfielder and right back.
Okay.
But they're talking about getting Traore and turning him into
a right back, a right wing back.
Yeah.
Well, as long as he's got end product or whatever it is, because that's one thing that's lacking with Traore. He'll make great busting runs, bust down everybody.
He's a nuisance. Even without his end product, he's taking 2-3 players away. So if he can get it to someone else, then
that is the problem. He's end product. He'll run all the way. He'll run all the way down the length of the pitch. Yeah, and it's like, what am I supposed to do now? Pass or shoot or score something? Do something? You know what I mean? But listen, and I think talking 20 million for him.
Yeah. Well, apparently we've offered 18. You don't believe he's never going to offer the right.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Yeah.
My daughter's quite sensitive about Granit Xhaka. She said, "Don't cuss Granit. We're no business. The man needs to go." Yeah, simple things, right? Okay. Micah says, Ndombele can run, but with no purpose. Can't really read the game well defensively, and he holds onto the ball too long because he doesn't trust the rest of the team, rest of them, to do something with it. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Spot on.
It sounds like you want it. Again, Micah's saying Chile wants a whole new 11 practically.
Well, we need a defender, centre back. We need a right back or a wing back. We need a creative player in midfield, and we need a striker. So 4 players that we definitely need. If we can get 2 or 3 of them this month, and like I say, in the summer, get rid of some of the deadwood and bring in players that Conte wants.
Okay. Right, we're coming down swiftly. Just 2 points left. Coming down swiftly. Sorry, D, do you want to just come in there?
I was saying to Chile, I think over the years, the problem with Tottenham getting a striker is that you got to get a striker that's willing to sit behind Harry Kane.
Exactly.
And I think that's always been the problem, that, okay, if I come there and I train better and I play better when I get my chances, do you drop Kane for me?
No, and they won't.
Probably no.
No.
And that's probably, I don't know. I can't really see Tottenham spending that kind of money on Vlahovic. If you're bringing Vlahovic, you're going to have to start both him and Kane.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And maybe, with Conte and his system 3-5-2, that would probably work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but they're both big lads, because you look at Vlahovic, he's a big lad. They call him like a very old school number 9. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the modern day football, they don't play with that traditional striker. But he's a bit of a bully boy, I heard. You know what I mean? And he can score goals, which is that I think all teams need that, somebody to be able to put the ball in the back of the net. So we'll just wait and see. I mean, as I said, we've got 20 odd days left till the window closes. I'm just hoping that, as I said, for Arsenal, we need to get somebody in the middle of the park. If it means, getting somebody on loan
of the park, like an enforcer.
You need because Thomas Partey kind of plays that. He kind of it's hard because Granit Xhaka sort of sits more deep, while Partey pushes up more sort of advanced and that. So I think you probably need that, like a a player, a playmaker that like a box to box, but somebody that can defend as well as attack as well. Do you know what I mean? Lukonga, when he came to the Emirates, he said in his interview that he can play either as a 6 or an 8. Do you know what I mean? But he would probably prefer the 8 role, that kind of box to box. You know what I mean? So I just think you need somebody with leadership in there. You need somebody in there with experience. And as I say, judging by the game against Nottingham Forest, we had 2 inexperienced midfielders in there. Patino coming up from the under-23s, and then Lukonga, who doesn't know the Premier League. It's his first time playing in the Premier League or playing in England. So it's a lot different. And when you come up against teams in the championships, these men are big bruisers. You understand?
Yeah.
You have to be able to hold your own. So I just think we need somebody with experience, somebody that's strong in the middle, that can control the middle. If you can control the middle, you tend to control the game. And if you've got the people that, you're protecting the back four. So you need somebody, we miss that Patrick Vieira type player for Arsenal. We definitely miss that kind of player. And I don't feel, personally speaking, that we've filled that hole. So we'll just have to wait. Bruno Guimaraes, good player, but it's gonna be difficult to do in this window. But come the summer, we may go in for him. But the fact that they're keeping Granit Xhaka and giving him a 4-year deal,
But you're taking Coutinho.
No. We got too many attacking players. I mean, listen, he's gone to Aston Villa. He's a big admirer of Steven Gerrard. So it might be, I mean, the only thing is with that, if it works out, I think they can buy him for 33 million, but they're paying. He's on a mad thing. His wages are something like 365,000.
Yeah,
it's mad. So, normally, would you prioritize a midfielder or a striker first? You know what, Micah? I was thinking about this now for the last couple of days, and I'm thinking to myself, because if they could, you see, the problem is you've got Lacazette, who's got 6 months left. Yeah, he looks like he's probably going to stay to the end of the season. They are trying to offer him an extension, but what I'm hearing is that Lacazette wants a 4-year deal. He's on 180,000 at the moment. He wants a 4-year deal, around about £200,000 a week, and I think he's 28 or 29. I might be wrong. He might be older than that. So I think for me, if they could sort out the Aubameyang situation and keep Lacazette, because I think we're now starting to score in midfield, then get a midfielder in. Yeah, because once you lose one of those midfielders, we are literally Bagel FC. Simple as. So I would, personally speaking, go for a midfielder. That's me, because at the start of the season, you had Aubameyang sign the contract last season, and he said he's going to be, the legend of the club. He wants to be a legend and all that. It's all gone pear-shaped now. So we just have to wait and see. I mean, we need some clarity on that, because every time they talk to Arteta about it, it's almost like we will see it game by game. You need to say what's going on. He's currently obviously at AFCON. I think he plays this weekend, so we'll see what happens there. Coutinho at Villa is at Villa, yeah. So he's signed a loan at Villa, and they want to. I think they want to. If it goes well, then he can go for 33 mil. Micah has come back and said Coutinho's on £400,000 a week. That's a mazza. And I think Liverpool are paying, I think, half of that or just slightly more than that.
Liverpool?
Not Liverpool, sorry. Aston Villa.
Villa.
Yeah, no, because I've got Coutinho and Coutinho linked there. Lacaz's 30. So you're not going to give a guy a 4-year deal because you know what I mean? You're going to be lumped with a guy on £200,000 a week. He'll be 34. And he ain't going to get any better. He's going to be the other side of that now. Do you know what I mean?
That's what Arsenal do, though. You give these massive contracts and to put them in the reserves on 350.
Aubameyang's 32, £350,000 a week. You had Ozil. Look how long it took him to get him out of the club. We make this mistake time and time again. Yeah. Salah gets paid half that of Coutinho at Liverpool. Can you believe that? And talking about Salah, I don't know if I mentioned it, but with the Salah situation, which takes us nicely onto that. I'm sure Micah's reading my notes because literally that's all we're going to be talking about next. Quickly, Mo Salah and his contract situation. Klopp has come out and said that there's no problem. The fans are not worried about it. It seems like the media's pushing this. Salah's basically come out and said he spoke to GQ magazine and he was saying basically that Liverpool know what I want. It's not a massive amount, whatever that is. Salah is what? He must be touching 30 or he's going to be 30 this year. No. Yeah. He's fantastic. I mean, for what he's doing, top goal scorer, probably one of the best players, in the world. Didn't do too well against Nigeria yesterday, but that's another thing.
What was the score?
1-0 to Nigeria. They beat them 1-0. Yeah. My man didn't show up at all.
He was saying that his demands are not crazy. So if he's on 200k a week, he's probably asking for 350 to match. Like if we're saying he is the best player in Europe or the best player in the world, then the best player in the world on 350 a week is not a big ask. But can Liverpool afford that?
That's the thing.
Hence why they've been kept, because Liverpool's wage structure is very. It's almost like the salary is capped. Like they cap their salary. We're not going to pay any player more than this, regardless of who he is. So him saying that he's not asking for anything crazy. I'm thinking he's asking for maybe 350 a week to match, and not even match because we Ronaldo.
And personally speaking, I think that's reasonable. The guy, the highest goal scorer in the Premier League with the highest amount of assists. I'm not saying that he's carrying Liverpool because there are other players, but without his goal scoring ability, without his goal scoring ability, he deserves that. I mean, you look at what Aubameyang has done, and you look at what Mo Salah is doing. Mo Salah is on less than Aubameyang, and the man is, and for me, the guy has carried his team to a certain degree. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's come again, and he's got even better. So I think, we don't know what it is, but it's whether Liverpool can afford to put another 100, maybe 150,000 on top of that. Yeah.
Well, they can.
I mean, they were his words.
What was that? Sorry, Chile?
They can afford to. It's whether or not they're willing to.
And because, I don't know what their policy is when it comes to age and that, but you've got 3 of their players, Firmino, 30, Mane, possibly 30, could be another age. You know what I mean? Especially with that hairline. But you got 3 of the players. They brought in Jota, who's sort of integrating himself quite well in the team and that. But you've got 3 front players, so they have to plan for the future. Kofi on a couple of shows ago, who's a Liverpool supporter, said the same thing, that he's worried that Liverpool are not really going into the market, and I don't see them going into the market. I think they're linked with another player. What's his name? Can't remember his name, but they're linked with a player. But I can't see it happening.
But Norm, this is the thing, right? If he goes, Salah, if he holds out for the money and doesn't sign, where does he go?
PSG.
PSG is a mess, Jimmy.
Are we saying that Real Madrid, the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona, can't afford him?
That's what I think. Because if he wants 350, 400k a week, I don't think either of them Spanish teams can afford him.
Man City will take him and they'll just smash everything with him.
Imagine going to City.
If he went to City, I'm packing this D. I'm packing my bags with you, and I'm coming to America with you as well. Yeah,
that would be hilarious. If he went to City, then they would literally call us a farmers league if he went to City.
Yeah, we're in some people are saying it now. It's a farmers league.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's an interesting thing. We'll see how that all pans out, because he'll have 18 months. Come the summer, he'll have 18 months left on his contract. Jay said if they get rid of Carriers, they can fund it, and Micah's thing to that is right. Micah says Salah goes to Real Madrid. Real Madrid have the money. They bid 200 million for Mbappe 6 months ago,
and they'll pay him the money that he deserves.
Yeah, I know. Listen, the guy is phenomenal.
There's the best scorer in the Premier League on the same money as like Harry Kane and whoever else he just said for 200.
Rashford. I think Rashford's on more, you know.
Yeah, Rashford's on more.
I think Rashford's on more than 200 grand a week.
Yeah.
I'm convinced of it.
Yeah.
I think he got that huge pay rise when he got the number 10 shirt. Rashford. He might be on 250 bags a week, mate.
Wow.
You imagine, more than Salah. Come on, man.
They got that wrong, bro. They got that wrong.
Yep.
Micah says, we are all waiting for Pep and Klopp to leave to make this better. Yeah, man, we need to be playing on some level grounds here, man. So Pep and Klopp, you need to just pack your bags and galang out of the Premier League, yeah. But listen, they're great managers.
They left the Premier League.
Huh?
You'd hate it if they left.
You know, listen, we can see that the Premier League is attracting all the best managers, and I think that would be a disaster if they because I think we need as teams in the league, I think we need to then try and come up and step up our game. Do you know what I mean? So by them going, would that change the whole dynamics of Liverpool and Man City? Because I'm sure the DNA of Man City.
I've got to jump off, but
but listen, Chile, because I'm coming down to the last one. Actually, before you go, right, the North London derby is coming up on Sunday. Massive game. You got Son missing in the game through injury. What are your thoughts quickly on the North London derby? Arsenal coming to the Tottenham Stadium, the toilet bowl, as some people like to call it.
Nobody.
What are your thoughts?
If you come like the small team that you are and set up a low block, then we're going to struggle. But if you come like a big team and try and win the game, we'll beat you. Okay.
Micah's saying Spurs win 1-0 and gets you to miss a sitter.
Of you guys next week.
Listen, we look forward to next week because obviously that's going to be interesting. Man United against Aston Villa and the big North London derby. But yeah, listen, Chile, we'll talk soon. Thank you for coming on. We're going to finish off. We're going to finish off the stream without you. And listen, come on, Chelsea. Take care, Jill.
Take care, Chile.
Right. Jay says bye, Chile. Yeah, D, we're coming down. We're literally and Richard, that was reading the last one, Richard, was the North London derby. But the Mo Salah situation is going to be interesting come the summer. Yeah. And you know, at the same time, because you're going to be kind of paying that kind of money, like say an extra 150,000, will that impact in terms of what they do in the summer in terms of buying players and that? Because listen, you've got three front players in Mane, Firmino. Jota looks like he's going to take Firmino's place. So it doesn't mean that, they're going to try and get rid of Firmino. They've got an aging side. So over the next 3-4 years, they're going to need to start looking about moving people out slowly and stuff like that. But someone like a Mo Salah, some people are saying that this guy can maybe go another 2-3 years. And would you, if it was you, would you be happy to give him that extra 100, 150 on top of what? We don't know what he's asking for, but let's say that was.
I mean, for argument's sake, it's 350 grand a week. I think he's earned his stripes now. And so if your ambition is to not let City run away, which I think is everyone's ambition, we're all chasing City. Yeah. You can't let your top players disappear like that. You just can't. And like I think Micah said in the chat that he feels that Madrid can afford him. If they were going to splash that big money on Mbappe, then and maybe he fancies some warmer weather football. He's Egyptian at the end of the day. He likes it from Egypt. Playing in the rain of the northeast is, what I mean? It's not always that appealing, even at a big club. And so he's probably saying, "Listen, guys, there's nothing crazy here. Pay me my money, or I'm off." Yeah, I mean that's the long and short of it, isn't it? That's the long and short of it. Yeah. Not crazy, man. I'm asking for this. If you don't think I'm worth it, then bro, and as it gets closer,
if they still have not negotiated anything by the summer, the big boys are going to be sniffing around. You know, the Real Madrids, the PSGs, possibly Barcelona, because I'm hearing that Barcelona have taken out another Wonga loan.
I mean, I don't even get that, Norm. Hence why they wanted the Super League, so they could pull these stunts.
And this is the problem, because at the end of the day, if they had a Super League, it'll be their own little, you know, how many players, how many teams were in there. I think it was it? I can't remember how many teams it was. Was it 10 teams? I can't remember, about 12. And then they would add. I can't remember.
For me,
my sister's saying, give my love to Sheena, Dale. Nice seeing you.
I will
shout out your business. But but listen, look, it's going to be interesting times come the summer.
Yeah,
big, massive North London derby coming up this weekend. I mean, what are your thoughts quickly? How do you see this game going? The fact that, you know, we're on 35 points. What I'm basically saying is we can't afford to lose that game. We need to either come out there with a draw, because if they win that game, they've still got 2 games on hand, and then they could jump above us. So Arsenal need to go into this, you know, North London derby. Yes, they've got Son missing. So some little things going on in the background, but I think when you got the likes of Harry Kane on the pitch, and you know what I mean, But
as you know, Norman, you throw form out the window when it comes to the derby.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
If you try and get up for the derby, whether it be a London, North London, or a Manchester derby, or a Merseyside derby, then you don't deserve to wear the shirt. I actually think this could be an energy game, as in both teams know that they have to go for it.
Yeah.
So I think you might see some open football, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, we got some after this. Yeah, well, after that game, we've got some favourable fixtures coming up. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think if we come out of this, I mean, what I don't want is for us to go there and get humiliated. I can't afford that to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? And I know that the likes of Chile and all them Tottenham mans are going to come out and give it to us. Bagel FC, the works and everything. Yeah. You've got a game. I mean, you've got a game on Monday, which, look, on paper, you should win it. But based on that performance, even though you won that game, you got through, I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried for you guys.
Yeah, like I said, if Gerrard would have seen what he saw, right, and his guys have got to be more clinical. If his guys are more clinical, you know what I mean? Because these guys are not trying for Ralph. You know what I mean?
No, they're not. They're not. It's
a
lot of
power thing again. You know?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. A lot of surgery needed on your club, mentally, physically, holistically, the whole thing. You know, from top to bottom. You know.
You know what? As well, Rashford actually came out and said he likes what Ralph is trying to do, but then his body language doesn't say that.
Doesn't say that. That's what I'm saying.
You know, and so maybe something outside of the game is messing with his head, rather than what's going on at Old Trafford.
I mean, there's suggestions that you may need to see. Just get a specialist in to see him and just talk to him. But you can see him on that game, and he just looked the whole world.
And then
pretty much on his shoulder.
You question the people around him as well. I question the people around him when Ollie was here. He kept playing, like I said to you, he kept playing injured. I'm saying, what are you doing, son? You got time on your hands to win stuff. You're not old. Why are you playing injured? Why are you taking injections to play injured? Because Ollie bigging you up and telling. Well, Ollie was trying to save his job. He didn't care about Rashford. Clearly, otherwise you would look after a player. You look after your players. I said this one the other day. The Dutch players don't rush back from injury. Dutch players don't do it. They get fit and then come back in the team. English players will always take a shot, take a few pills, and play.
Yeah, they're always playing with an. You always hear it. They're playing with an injection.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Or whatnot. Yeah.
And we have to stop doing that because it hurts the national team as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I think the whole thing of like taking winter breaks and they're literally just pushing you. You know, the Christmas. Yes, it's great. I love the Christmas program and all of that. But you know, a lot of the managers have been calling for this. You know, for some sort of break and that, because it does impact. Because when Saka, when he played for, you know, during the European Cup and that, I mean, the man was jaded for the first how many weeks? You know what I mean? And he's only took him a while to get out of it, and so you know what I mean. So listen, we'll see what happens.
a lot of players came back jaded from the Euros, and you could see that at the start of the season. Like pretty much everyone that went to the Euros with England just didn't look the same. None of them players. I mean, obviously, Kane was looking for the move, so it was that part of it we came. But in general, everyone that went with their England squad, not many of them really came back and just hit the ground running. They all looked a little bit lethargic, trying to figure out why they were playing football again so quickly.
Yeah,
after being in the Euros and
exactly, and that whole thing of being in the finals.
Yeah.
You know that took it out of them and that, but this is the English game, mate. You know, it's all about at the end of the day, it's all about that, mate.
TV money. TV money, mate.
TV money, mate.
TV
money. We're going to finish off with the last thing, and that's a little bone of contention with the way the AFCON nation is being. Okay, it's on Sky, brilliant. But man, come on. I mean, there's no the punditry is not that brilliant, as far as I'm concerned, and there's no analysis or nothing. It's literally bang it on, watch it, and then you kind of get all the cliche. Oh, you know, these guys. I love the colours, the bright colours, and you know me. It's almost like that flowery, not taking this whole competition serious, and it's kind of grating me a little bit.
Yeah, and this is what I would say: the TV, well, the big TV networks. This is where the mentality is wrong. That I'm sure there are still enough retired African nation players in this country to go onto those Skies and BT Sports or whatever, and actually who understand their countries and their teams, who are probably good for their teams, and to go on and do a very good job promoting the AFCON. But it's like they're not interested.
My missus said the same thing. I was discussing with her, and I was getting really frustrated. She said, why couldn't they have got like a couple of ex-African players?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Even like, you know, like people like Patrick Vieira, who, okay, he's not from France, but, you know, he's Senegalese, I think, background. All these guys that can come on and give some decent commentary or analysis of the game. But it's almost like you watch it and then you're looking at it. So what I do is I look, and then if I say the game is going to finish, say at 5-6, and then it's 5 minutes, so where's the time for the analysis?
Right.
And then, you know what I mean? And
it's like they're not really interested, no. It's like lip service, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, like today, I think it was Tunisia, and I can't remember who the other team was today, where they pointed out that the referee blew up. It's meant to be a 90-minute game, and they made a point of it that the referee blew up 85 minutes.
He blew up 85 minutes.
So the 90 minutes didn't finish. So. What they're trying to say is that, but you know, you got to read the undertones. It's almost like they're trying to say these referees haven't got a clue. And then what happened is you saw the officials, like, you know, the man don't mess about it now, because the Algerian, I think it was Algeria. Yeah. They were going to the officials, and you saw the linesman pushing the man and saying, "Come on, man, what are you doing? What are you doing?" But basically, there was like, because what they were complaining about was that there was no time added on time also for, like, you know, like the VAR decisions and other bits and pieces. And the referee, so he blew an 85 and 89 minutes.
Right. Well, the thing is, as we know, it's 30 seconds for each sub, and then whatever happens injury-wise.
Yep.
Because, you know, I think, to my understanding, that whenever there's a stop of play, the referee literally stops his watch. So his watch, he'll stop the game at 90 minutes because he's stopped for everything, for the subs, for bring the trainer on or the physio on to tend to a player. And so every time an incident happens, he stops his watch. So his watch will say 90 minutes. So clearly the guy's not even looking at his watch, or not even.
He wasn't, because when he blew it, he looked and he went, "Oh." I made a mistake here. Yeah, you can see the Algerian things. What are you doing?
Yeah, what's going on?
They carried on the game, and then he blew at 89 minutes, and then for about, I don't know how long it was. I mean, I hear that half an hour these guys are arguing on the pitch or whatnot, you know. And apparently, like, the teams were meant to come back out and finish the game off, but it didn't happen. But
and this
Sky jumped on it, and it's almost like to say, like, boy, you know, these guys don't know what they're doing. And then it just wasn't. I just don't like the way they've covered this. You know what I mean? Yeah, they got it on Sky because before you had to go on like Eurosports or that. You know what I mean? Back in the day, you know what I mean, to find it. But now they put it on Sky. But come on, leave some time for some, you know, because you got some good African players there. Do you know what I'm saying? Playing into
like I said, you should have already, knowing that there's happening, like make some calls to some retired players and just you literally offer them a contract for the tournament.
That period,
Really can't be that hard, Norman. You know, as professional as it is, you know, as you know, the football stations, the TV stations, and the sports, they are running football.
Yeah.
The BTs, the Amazon Primes now.
It would be interesting. I mean, I don't know where you find it, but it would be interesting to know what kind of viewing figures they are for these games. You know what I mean? I mean, the stadiums were a little bit scanty.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's down to the fact that I think what they were saying, the authorities over there were saying that they're only allowing, because it stays in Cameroon, they're only allowing the locals to come back. Like for those people that they're only allowing a certain amount of people to attend it.
Well,
but then,
hopefully, when they get to the knockout stages, we see it play out a bit different. Hopefully, it's
well, that's it. Yeah, like they'll have some pundits on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You know, but
they wait for the group stages to get done, and then you may see hopefully, we see a better presentation of
when you look at the Euros and you look at all the other competitions, they're proper on it. Do you know what I'm saying? So come on, man, give some due diligence to these games and stuff like that. And you know, it just makes it look like, oh, the AFCON is on, and we better just show it because we don't want to look too bad. You know what I'm saying? So
I said to someone the other day, it's only when I looked at my fantasy football, I actually realised how many players have gone to the AFCON from the Premier League. A lot of players have gone. It's well represented in this country.
Absolutely.
So just do them right. It can't be that hard to do them right.
Yeah, really. Absolutely. That was my, I think, you know, that was my gripe. And I thought, I said, you know what, let me bring it up on this podcast and that. And let me know what you think, guys, in the comments. Do you think that they've given good coverage to this AFCON? Have they ever? It's just like it feels like an afterthought. That's the only way I can describe it. You know what I mean? But you know, let me know what you think, guys. But listen, we have come to the end of the podcast again. Mr. Big D, I'd like to thank you so much. Coming on with your wealth of knowledge and everything. I mean, you got some offline. I was talking with someone. You got some fans out there. They said you know your stuff. So, bro,
try and research it and try and listen to other people as well. So you understand what the fan bases are thinking about what we're seeing. I mean, you know, there's a couple of guys I know that go home and away, and I listen to and listen to the way they break the games down.
Yeah. And what you bring, I suppose, what you bring is, for me, when I listen to you, you bring good context to it. You're not, you look at both sides of the argument. You don't sort of kind of go in there and start railing off your mouth and whatever. Yeah, we can go on there and have antics and all that business and that, but we leave that to Chile.
You're objective when it comes to your club. Otherwise, you know what I mean. Otherwise, you just rose tinted glasses, man.
And listen, we all support different clubs and we like a banter. Because you know when we're losing, man, that our WhatsApp group goes off. And that, we haven't done it for a little while still, but you know we'll see what happens where Man United come this season, because I think for the club that you are, the size of club that you are, with the players that you've got, you should be finishing the top four. You know what I mean? Right. I think you should be, but. You know what's going to happen.
But I said last week, Norman, for me, it's top four or bust. If I don't finish top four, I don't want to finish in the top 7 or whatever.
You just finish out at the top 8. You just finish
out of it. And
go again.
You rebuild in the summer the best way you can. And then you just concentrate on the 2 cups and the Premier League for that season. I'd rather do that than play in the Europa Conference. I've said that several times. I don't want no part of that.
Well,
listen, Europa League and
I just hope come the end of the season that we, you know, I think if we finish 5th, 6th, I think that's an okay season, considering where we was. It would be nice to get a cup. Hopefully, Chelsea is doing the business. But it's going to be. I'll be rejected, but I'm going to look at that. I know it's going to another. Listen, another big show, guys. Thanks again, Norski, Big D, and Chili. That's from Latoya. Thank you again, everybody in the chat. Thank you, Micah, Jay, whoever was in the chat. Thank you for supporting the channel. It's been a pleasure. It's been absolutely fantastic. Again, Big D, want to thank you. Chili, want to thank you. Next week we go again. We're going to see what the fallout is against Man United, Aston Villa against Man United, the big North London derby. Please, Mikel Arteta, sort it out, bro, because I can't face Chile if we lose that game. You know what I mean? And then obviously we got the Carabao Cup tomorrow, so I have to contend with my missus because she's Liverpool. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. And hopefully they won't be trying to cancel the game again. But listen, guys. Say that again, mate.
Well, that's another big game for you guys tomorrow. Another big game.
Absolutely. Leah saying great show.
Thank you, Leah.
Listen, guys. Again, thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe, share. Please share it around. I'm trying to get to 200. Hopefully, by the end of the month, we will get to 200. It's 198. So when I get off of this thing, yeah, man, D, big up for me. Yeah, when I get off this show, yeah, you need to buy K. Thank you again for joining me. Thank you for your support. Really brilliant. It's been a pleasure. Listen, guys, it's the end of the podcast. It's the end of the What's Going On podcast. We'll see you next week. Please like, subscribe, and share. Take care, and God bless.